Okay, Assalamualaikum and hi everyone. So let's continue for chapter 4, solid and hazardous waste. So for this chapter 4, you may refer on the textbook, chapter 10 and also chapter 11 in the textbook. Okay, so I'm going to separate this chapter into 4 or 5 parts for the videos. So the first part, which is in this video, will mostly cover on the definition and also the characteristic of solid waste. Alright. So shall we go now? Right. Okay. So the content of this chapter would be the characterization of solid and hazardous waste. What is hazardous waste management, and the final part is the engineered system for resource and energy recovery. Okay, right. So the first topic, I will explain on what the types of solid waste. So basically, we have 4 types of solid waste, which is municipal waste or known as domestic waste, industrial waste, agricultural waste, and also hazardous waste. Okay, so for this chapter, I will put more focus on municipal waste. So you will learn on how to characterize the municipal waste. But for this first topic, I will explain the definition or the characteristic of all types of these 4 solid waste. Okay, so we'll start with municipal waste. Example of municipal waste, the one that can be easily, produced from your house. Okay, and also, for school area, office, university. So that's what we consider as municipal waste. So some example of it are food waste, rubbish, ash, demolition and construction waste. Okay, and then special waste such as battery, aerosol, cosmetic, and then treatment plant waste. Okay, so some of these municipal waste can also be classified or falls under as hazardous waste, such as maybe the treatment plant waste. Some of it can be part of hazardous waste, right? Okay, so this is the components of municipal waste that being used in US. So these are the type, which are paper. Okay, in these are the percentage from what the components in US for their municipal waste. Okay, so 40% are paper, 12% for yard waste, 12% plastic, metals 7%, wood 7%, glass 6%, food waste 6%, other 10%. So most likely Malaysia have this kind of component, but maybe our food waste is larger, right? So, but for your scope, we will follow the one from US municipal waste. So this one later you will see there are a few tables that being used in your textbook, which is typical composition of municipal solid waste that you have to refer when you're doing the calculation, right? Okay, so next is what is industrial waste. So the waste arising from industrial activities. Okay, so that's why some part of the municipal waste also can be categorized in the industrial waste. Okay, so you'll see some rubbish, ashes, demolition and construction waste. Okay, and then some waste could be hazardous. So there's a hazardous waste in the industrial waste, right? So the next one is agricultural waste. So this includes the food processing waste, plant residue, animal waste, pesticide, and herbicide. Okay, these can also be considered as hazardous waste, right? Okay, so finally is the hazardous waste. What is hazardous waste? It pose a substantial danger immediately or over a period of time to human, plant, or animal. Okay, so these are the characteristic of hazardous waste, which is easily ignitable, it's corrosive, reactive, and toxic. Okay, So can be categorized as radioactive, chemical, biological, flammable, and explosive as well, right? So these are the characteristic, the four important characteristic of your hazardous waste. So if your waste has one of these, it can be regarded as hazardous waste as well, right? Okay, so what is corrosivity? Okay, so waste that can corrode steel or destroy other substances, normally at high or very low pH. Okay, so liquid corrodes steel at rate greater than 6.35 millimeter per year. Okay, at temperature around 55 degrees C. So like normally this kind of corrosivity we can observe it in industrial plant. Okay, the plant that use acidic or caustic liquid, right? So this will give a corrosivity to the steel or any other substances, right? So the next one is the reactivity. Okay, it's unstable and readily undergoes violent change. Okay, without detonating, so it reacts violently with water. This is very important. Okay, so that's why we consider it as hazardous waste. Okay, when mixed with water, it will generate toxic gas, vapor, fumes, in a quantity sufficient to present danger. Okay, sometimes let's say your cleaning product, okay, contain this kind of waste. Okay, such as your uh, what, like chlorine material, right? So when it reacts with water, it can be so it has a high reactivity with water, and then it will produce some fume. So that fume is very dangerous for you to inhale, right? So ignitability. So the waste that have flash point less than 60 degrees C or 140 degree Fahrenheit. So it's capable of ignite by friction, could easily ignite. Okay, and then it moisture absorption or spontaneous chemical changes and burns, so it creates a hazard. So example of ignitable waste such as aluminium powder, petroleum-based solvent, kerosene, gasoline, paints, and degreaser. So these are the example of also falls under hazardous waste. Okay. So, if you wanted to know how hazardous it is, you may refer to the MSDS of the material. Okay, so if you can see in our lab, okay, for every time you wanted to do your experiment, run your experiment, you need to refer to the MSDS material safety data sheet to to know what are the possibility or the dangerous or the hazardous chemicals in the material that you're using, right? Okay, so these are the hazardous material regulations government agency. So normally in Malaysia we have Occupational Health and Safety Administration, like the one that we use in our lab. Okay, and then they also have Department of Transportation (DOT) and EPA. EPA, Environmental Protection Agency, is widely being used, especially in overseas, right? Okay, so these are the common symbol of hazardous waste. So you can see this at the back of or in your MSDS. Okay, so they will indicate this kind of symbol. Okay, to tell you that this is the hazardous chemicals, right? Okay, how can we manage the hazardous waste? Is the first one through waste minimization. So you reduce the amount of waste generated. Okay, so that's why we have waste audit. And then waste exchange. So maybe one factory produce the hazardous waste can become other feedstock. So normally we can see this kind of method is used in Gabang, right? And then the next one is recycle metals, energy content, and other useful resources containing in hazardous waste. So the concept is like recycling. Okay, so for instance, the one in the landfill, okay, the waste in the landfill can also be produced, can also used to produce other kind of material like those plastic, okay, plastic bottles. We can now, the technology have proved that we can use that as a raw material for biodiesel. Okay, so that's one example of waste exchange or recycle method. Okay, so quality alarm. Okay, as you know, quality alarm is where most of the industry, or even in UMP, we also send those hazardous material that we cannot use, we cannot recycle, to quality alarm. So quality alarm in charge of this. So in quality alarm, where it's located somewhere in Negeri Sembilan, so I think nowadays the name has been changed to, it's not quality alarm anymore. Okay, I forgot. So later I will inform you once I remember. Okay, so these are what we have in the quality alarm. So they have incineration plant, okay, solidification treatment plant, physical and chemical treatment plant, secured landfill, and clinical waste treatment center. So is a huge plant in quality alarm because they have several processing plant, right? So but to send your hazardous waste to quality alarm is not cheap. Okay, they charge you a few I'm not sure, a few hundreds per kilo of your waste. All right, so if possible, that's why we wanted to reduce the usage of hazardous waste, right? Okay. So these are the how we can produce less waste. So by manipulating the process, or recycle and reuse. Okay, so convert to less hazardous or non-hazardous substance. So maybe land treatment, incineration, thermal treatment. So these are the method. Okay, but now, like I said just now, there's a few technology have been introduced in order to change the waste into something that can be in use. So for instance, just now the plastic waste, we produce biodiesel, and then some of the leachate in the process plant we can use to change it into fertilizer. So there's, if you read through other journal papers, you can discover there's a lot of technology now people use to convert those waste into something that we can use. Okay, right. So general sources of municipal waste. So now we focus on the municipal waste. So MSW is municipal waste. I will explain this more on the next part of the video, focusing on municipal solid waste only. Okay, see you in the next video. Okay, bye.